Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope mental and physical health are good and fit. So today I'm gonna talk about do not need to aim for perfection before you do anything that you want to do. This is something I've learned over the years. I finally kind of settled it in to myself. Before, I don't know about you, but I thought, okay, in order to speak in front of people, I have to do this. I have to be able to speak perfect English and perfect sentence, perfect this and that, and attire, the looks and the behaviors and all the gestures, and you have to prepare this and that. And then by the time you think of all this, you lost your enthusiasm and you start comparing those who are looking perfect speaker, and then you think to yourself, no, you're not good enough, right? And then you don't even do it. And I was like that for many years, and I took so many detours and bumpy roads to find out that in order to do something, for instance for me, in order to live the best version of my life, I don't need to be perfect before you do anything that you wanted to do. Like you, even if you're really negative minded, but you will find something that you can do then. Like change the wording. Look and pay attention to the words that you're using, because the words are so powerful and you don't even notice, even though you speak it all the time, but unless you're paying attention, you don't know what kind of wording you're using to express your feelings or describe the things you see. And then as soon as you put intention to it, I'm going to use a different expression, or that person describe it such a nice way. Or instead of saying, this is so cold and miserable, and the people say, this is so fresh. It's a different perspective. And fresh means, sometimes it implies the coldness, chilliness, but the air is crisp, so that she express it as it's a fresh air. And so it's just a little subtle changes, and you think when you want it to change, you feel like you want it to change big, but that's the wall that you create by yourself. You don't need to change big. In order to change, you start really small, like the changing the wording of how you describe things, or you just paying attention to the little details that you do unconsciously. For instance, the way you hand stuff to people, maybe you were really abrupt. Instead, you kind of take your time to hand it in to other people. Or the kind of expression you use, maybe you're not even showing expressions, and some people with a smile without the words, you feel good, right? And so you might start doing that. You might start using the edge of this mouth. When you put the edge up like this, you don't have to say anything, but it gives off the feeling to the other people that you're in a good mood or happy mode, instead of just blunt face. And even though you're not mad, but some people might take it you're in a bad mood. So this is a little trick I've learned many years ago, and it really works. It doesn't matter what you're feeling inside. You're totally tired, don't want to see people, but you have to be there to greet people, for instance. But now it's a COVID and your face is covered with a mask, so it might not really work like before. But when you have the chance to talk to people, to see the face, and then putting the edge of your mouth up, or to use this muscle to just and that really gives other people a really comfy, easy feelings. Those little minor changes will accumulate. At the end, you will blown away with the difference that you made. And that, you call it a big change, but it starts really small. And that's the way you start. You don't need to do the big change all at once. So you don't need to be perfect in order to do something different, or you wanted to change your life, or live the best version of you. And then you have this image, the vision. If you don't, you spend some time thinking what you like to be or what you like to become. And then you have certain visions and certain traits of that person, and you start becoming it. You start stepping forward of doing things that person, ideal person that you're in your vision would do. Maybe different wording and different postures, maybe has a different color of the clothing, the brighter color, or the hair, instead of really messy and like nasty, maybe you do comb yourself, brush your hair to look like a hygiene, cleanliness, or declutter the house so that your mind and soul gets really refreshed and receive more stuff, informations and things. So those little minor things, you think it's nothing, but it really start build up, and then compound effect will snowball, and then towards the end it become a big change. And meanwhile, the little small change will become your habit, and your habit is your life. Literally, when you change your habit, you will literally change your life, because the humans are nature of creature. Human is there's a habit in the creature of habits. Creature of habits. So once you decided to do something different, when you change this habit, which is tough at the beginning to break the habit because you've been doing it for years and years, but little bit at a time, you'll be able to reach the place you wanted to go. So you start small. The things that you look for is something you can do now. For instance, like I used to so afraid, I'm still afraid of taking a video. I wasn't sure that it's not good enough, or people might not want to even hear this story, or I look stupid, and all those things came into my head. But it's like a challenge to myself, and I record it, and having the time is also a challenge for me. So I used just before going to work time, like that's why I have a lot of car scene, and then just send a message that I have in my head, and then it's just a challenge for myself. And at the same time, I love to help people who are wondering like whether they're gonna become the best version of themselves, to be authentic and live your life. And because I struggle so much in that area, so I'm hoping that, or I wish somebody will take some sort of ideas from my story and then use their life to leap from negative to positive world. And it's much lighter, and it's better life, and it's a different mentality, different mindset that's really helped me to go forward as well. So that's what I wanted to convey, and I might not use the perfect word or perfect expressions, but as long as I have this heart to convey what I wanted to say, my thoughts, and sure, I will practice more and more, and I will be able to convey the better way, in a better phrasing, and better using the words and a pronunciation of expressions. And I'm still in the progress way, but this is the same thing. When you want to become the best version of you, you start small. You start something that you could do now, even though something hinders you, but you take that little leap, and then a compound effect will snowball, and then at the end you feel the big change. So you start really small, and that's all you need to step forward. And then you start getting more information, and all those miracles start happening because you start align yourself better instead of farther away, which is totally hard and tough life to be. So see you soon and take care. Okay, bye bye.